Hey AD, welcome to my YouTube studio. Video editing. Cutting, slicing, splicing, drag and dropping, crossfading, exporting. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and we all do it. Those of us who do it. I've been editing videos in one form or another for about 22 years now. When I was 12 years old, I started making stick death animations on Macromedia Flash, which might bring some nostalgia for a couple of people watching. All of mine are lost to the sands of time though, which is fine because they were not good in any way. When I was 15 and I got my first job, my first big purchase that I saved up for was a camera. Now, everybody was using mini DV tapes back then, but I knew that was not gonna be the standard a couple of years from then. So I wisely invested in a mini DVD camera, knowing that mini DVD would be the way of the future, and as you know, we're all using that now. I couldn't connect that camera of mine to a computer, but it had an onboard editing thing built in that I could press buttons and edit, and so that's how I won my first Oscar. I've edited physical film on a Steenbeck. My first job out of university was editing wedding videos. All that to say, I've been editing for a long time. I've been doing it for a long time. There are many different ways to edit videos, but I'm gonna show you how I do it because I make videos where I talk to myself. So I'll show you how I do that. This isn't gonna be like a tutorial video. I'm not gonna go too deep into the nitty gritty. I just wanna do like an itty bitty nitty gritty kind of thingy. My goal is to toe the line between informative and entertaining. If everybody could leave this video with a feeling of, huh, I'll have done my job. So I know that these days people are getting really good at editing videos on their phones using CapCut, which of course was invented by Captain William Cuddleson in 1863. Call me a 2003 Luke Wilson movie, but I still enjoy editing on a computer. I just recently upgraded to an actual good editing computer. I'm using a Mac Studio, which is a little monster of a machine. But most of my YouTube career, I've been using like laptops or things that you can't even play games on. A real game changer for me has been the MX Mouse Master whatever from Logitech, because it's got all these buttons and wheels that you can program to do specific things that you want it to do. So I've got this wheel set to scroll my timeline, I've got this button set to the blade tool, I've got this one set to delete. So when I'm editing, this is my computer screen by the way, it looks like this. This thing lets me go so fast and my hand moves in strange ways that looks like I might be having some kind of medical emergency. It's great. As for software, I use Adobe Premiere Pro, I use Photoshop when I need to change backgrounds, little dab of After Effects once in a while if I need to track something. I have heard awesome things about DaVinci Resolve though, which has a great free version apparently. I just haven't taken the time to learn it, but if you're looking to get into video editing, you should check that out because you don't need to give your money to Adobe. They have enough. They told me. They sent me an email being like, that's good, thank you, all done. Yet they're still charging for stuff, which I find suspicious. Much like the mouse, my whole editing project setup is in place to do the things I do really quickly. So I have this project template that I use for everything I do that involves a green screen. This is what the timeline looks like when I open it up. Every week I make a pitch meeting, so I have my backgrounds preloaded in here that I can just plop my videos onto. And then this image here is just a placeholder that has my standard effect settings on it, so I can just copy paste them. So for example, here's my green screen footage on the timeline. I can copy paste my opacity settings, which mask out the non-green screen stuff from my shot, and I can copy paste my ultra key settings, which gets rid of the green. There's probably some built-in preset thing in Adobe to do that, but I don't care. As they say, if it ain't broke, you don't have to do anything else to it. You don't even have to be fixing it or nothing. Somebody should really shorten that saying, but I like the spirit of it. Now I've got a backgroundless me on the timeline. He's got no background, he's in a dark void, he looks scared, we gotta place him somewhere. I mentioned in a previous video that you could only use green screens for volcanoes, but after looking into it, it turns out that's not the case. You can do other stuff. There are lots of cool resources for background images. For most of my videos, I've used just free websites. Pexels, Unsplash, and Pixabay have a ridiculous amount of stuff you can use. Recently, I started using Envato Elements as well, which is kind of a cool one-stop shop for anything you need, but it is not free. And then if there's something really specific that I can't find on those sites, I'll use something like Shutterstock and pay a little more for just an image, which is annoying, but sometimes you need something specific. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? For the purposes of this video, which is a Fear Factor video, I'm gonna place the characters in a warehouse, which I feel like they did a lot on Fear Factor. This is a really topical sketch I'm doing, by the way. I guess Joe Rogan is popular. I don't know. It's just, I like the premise. So I'll plop these backgrounds behind my characters, and I don't like that flat look where everything's in focus, so to add some depth, I always add a little Gaussian blur to it. Gaussian? There you go. So now I have my clips of these two characters. The game plan, traditionally, honestly, up until like a week ago, was that I would then scroll through and make cuts manually. But now that Adobe is upping their game with AI, they have this thing where they can automatically transcribe my video, and then I can select my pauses and then just delete them. And that does save me a good chunk of time, so thank you, Adobe. It's almost worth the vague and scary terms of service you made us all agree to. It's probably fine. Now I do scroll through and just kind of delete takes and mistakes and whatnot, which honestly you could kind of tell by the audio waveforms which are repeated takes, and usually the last take is the good one, so that goes pretty fast. Are you tapping out? Are you tapping out? Dadoy. Dadoy. It has microplastics in it that'll kill you in 50 years. Now here's another weird thing I do that maybe there's a shortcut, but I don't really care too much. I have all these clips now that are spread out weird, and now I need to drag them into order. It's a little annoying that I need to go look for them and drag them. So what I do to get them all nicely and neatly placed together is to extend a still image on a top layer. Then I drag the videos onto that image and then back down so that now you can see there are gaps of the exact length of each clip. And then I use the ripple delete feature on those image bits, which closes those gaps and brings all the clips together. Now they're all hanging out all nice and neatly, and I can just drag and drop them in order. I go plop, I go plop, I go plop, I go plop. That goes on for some time until I've plopped everything I need to plop. A lot of stuff in my head. You're doing great, Albert. Here, have some water. Now, if you play this back, you will have the sketch as written, but it's just gonna be awkward timing and it's gonna suck so bad. You're gonna hate it. It's not good. So all I have left to do is 2 more passes, and then it's gonna be pretty much ready to publish, other than like other things I'm gonna add, like special effects for this sketch, whatever. The first pass is basically gonna be an audio pass. I drag every clip so that it flows well at every cut, just audio-wise, not paying attention to the picture. The picture edits will look stupid right now. Don't look at that. That's not good yet. It's not ready. Don't look. But he likes you. But he likes you. Then once that's done, I move up to the picture edit, and what I'm looking to do there is some audio and picture overlap, also known as J-cuts. This, if I understand correctly, was named in honor of all the different haircuts that Jay Leno has had in his life, but also because when you start the audio before cutting to the clip, it's shaped like the letter J, but if I had to guess, it's mostly the honoring Jay Leno haircuts thing. He hasn't had a ton of different ones, but every time he's tried something a little different, it's exciting for everybody. J-cuts, in my opinion, are really the key to making this seem like 2 different people talking to each other. If you're looking at one of me, but then you ever so slightly hear the voice of the other me, your brain subconsciously goes, well, there's no possible way for me to be hearing another voice while seeing this other man. There's gotta be a completely different man there, and I accept it. Nobody likes you. Huh? It's baby magic movie. Nope, it's movie magic, baby. Hey, this one's kind of nice. I like this one. So once I've done that picture pass, I'm basically done. I can upload that video and then go continue staring at my wall until inspiration for another video strikes. What if people poop the way that dogs poop? So that is the Ryan George method of editing a video where you talk to your... also you. Now you have the tools to go make your own Ryan George videos and start your own channel. And you will wildly surpass me in subscriber numbers, and I'll be kinda mad, but I will respect it. And then one day, 10 years from now, we'll cross each other on the street and we won't say anything, but we'll make eye contact and we'll give each other a little nod. Just, you know, just an acknowledgement. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is a good one too. Hi there, hello. Please hit that subscribe button. I am a disembodied head, so you can trust me. You can trust me.